Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Playing Podcast. This is episode 99, 90, 90 This is episode 93 with your host, Jerry and Jesse.
I
Oh,
am
man.
not cutting any of that. This is why I take my time, even though I hesitate, so
Oh,
I don't say it. But
I was
yes,
close. It was close. It was close.
we're so close. This is almost the new year. So we had great soccer this year. So we could only hope for more better and intriguing attacking football. That's all we want. We don't want any Arsenal terrorist ball. Jesse, yes, you could say terrorist because I saw my favorite YouTuber, or one of my favorite YouTubers, Connor Dog. He says it. Ludwig
Oh,
says it.
oh, oh.
So
That's
you're
all I
back.
needed to hear. Yeah, I'm back, baby.
So yeah, right now currently it's like mainly Premier League, Serie A. There's like a little bit more like English Cup sort of going on. AFCON is going on, which is kind of crazy because Jesse just told me Morocco scored another bicycle kick, and it was
By
the
the
same
same,
guy that
by,
scored the first one.
yeah, El Karabi, or similar to that. Scored
So
another one.
there's like, I think AFCON football is like one of the most organic football there is. There's like, I want to say there's no tactics, but like it's free flowing. It's pretty awesome to watch. So if you do have it, I personally don't know where to watch it, so I can't see it.
Yeah, it's great. It's back to like roots football, the one that we all fell in love with. There's no terrorist ball from Mikel Arteta where they defend, they actually play football, so it's great. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's been good. But thankfully, we're starting to see semblance of football again. The terrorist known as Mikel Arteta has his football has been shown out the door because good football is coming back from Pep is starting to show again with Chetki, in great form. Wirtz is finally getting his chance to show what real football is. There's Nico Paz in Serie A. There's you know in La Liga it's still there, but there's still that low block that sometimes ruins it. But yeah, it's starting to come back. Like the tens is coming back and creativity is coming back to football.
Yeah, it definitely is. So yeah, speaking of the devil, Arsenal still currently in first place. They edged out their win this past weekend. Did they even play? I don't even know who they played.
Who?
Arsenal?
They played Brighton
Oh yeah,
2-1.
they played Brighton, got the win, but there is showing cracks. They're gonna have to face one of the most informed teams in the league next tomorrow actually, and it's Aston Villa.
Yeah, that's dangerous because Aston Villa's coming off of beating Chelsea 2-1 in the weekend, and I think they're in like an 11 game win streak. I think they were talking about how it's like tied for their history record. But yeah, they're in third place. They're only 3 points off Arsenal, and this is a big, big, big game. Fortunately for them, I think Arsenal's playing at home, but they have no environment there. It's not even a danger. The Emirates, like no one cares.
So yeah, they have a chance to play spoiler. I don't even want to say spoiler, but they're actually competing for the league. So there is
Yeah,
a lot at stake for this because if they either of them drop points by a draw, then Man City takes advantage. But if you know Arsenal can create a gap between them and Villa, or Villa can start taking the lead temporarily until City plays.
yeah, it's big, and it's honestly, Arsenal should be going as underdogs because they're at home, but this is the second time they've played them in like a couple of weeks because they've just played them like I want to say 2 weeks ago and they lost to Aston Villa.
So
Let me
it's a
see.
definitely must-watch TV. So if you do have the chance to watch it, I know a lot of people are gonna be working, but yeah, definitely watch it. It starts at 2 p.m., I believe. It's on Peacock if you're in the United States. Keep
Yeah,
an
they
eye
played
out for
them
it.
Saturday, December 6th. Last time they played them and they lost
How much? 2-1?
2-1.
Yeah, and Villa is not an easy team to go by, especially because like the match against Chelsea, they were down 1-0, then they
Yeah,
ended up coming back and winning 2-1.
their recent form is really good, but also they're similar to the Chicago Bears where they do really well with comebacks because I think they mentioned that like this is their they have 14 points that they've won from coming from behind. So
So they can't be Arsenal can't feel comfortable at all, even if they're up 1 or 2 goals. They got to be
mhm.
on it full 90. Luckily for them, they don't have Ramsdale anymore, who can't keep focus for 90 minutes. But even then, we'll see what Arteta cooks up. I don't doubt we're gonna see five center backs this game, Jesse, and like three DMs. So. It's gonna be exciting.
But your favorite player is going to play, Jared.
Oh yeah, Bukayo Saka, my boy. I recently packed his Renaissance card, and he is definitely my new favorite player because yeah, an investment. I need him to go up.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure that he might be bringing back the limp from a couple years ago during this game.
Honestly, Jesse, I am very much debating trading that card in. I think it's like around the 400 to $500 card. I'm debating trading it in for another card I actually want. So again, I'm not in love with this card, but I am building it up. If he has a hat trick tomorrow, that card's gonna skyrocket. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I just I don't see it from Arsenal's point of view, especially because I know people are saying they're they're great defensively, which they should be considering they've been playing like five in the back with three CDMs, but there was a lot of talk of them breaking Chelsea's record of conceding only 15 goals throughout the Premier League season. They're now up to 11th, but the recent record in the Premier League for conceding hasn't been great. Like they just conceded against Brighton, and before that, uh, they conceded two against Aston Villa, uh, another one to Wolves, and that was also very sketchy. Like they were very lucky away to get the win. Like there has been frailties in that back line.
Yeah, that there's cracks in the wall, Jesse. Aston Villa's looking to exploit it. They're a very good team. I like their midfielder of I don't know if it's attacking midfielder. I think it's Ramsey or something with an R. My God, I am tweaking. Because they played midweek too. I think it was for a cup, and he scored a banger of a goal. So
Morgan Rogers,
yeah, Rogers, there you go.
I was like,
I'm like, it's something with an R, but yeah, he's fantastic, and um, I want to see what he could bring to the table. Unluckily for what's it called for Aston Villa, they're still without like there's I would say starting center backs, Mings and Pau Torres, but their replacements have been doing pretty well. I know they
I
can't
wouldn't,
complain.
I wouldn't even know if those guys would make it, except for Pau Torres, because Pau Torres coming back, because he was injured to begin the year, and there was like a lot of frailties. But then when he came back, he brought some stability to that back line before he got hurt again.
Hmm.
But Konza has done an exceptional job as an understudy for both of them, and I think he's even made it into the England national team, which is good because he provides versatility because he can play center back and right back. And then they have uh I think who else has been playing besides I know they have Lindelof, but
Mosquera.
it,
I think
Mosquera, I
Mosquera's
think
on. Yeah, Mosquera has like links outside of the team as well.
that's Arsenal.
Wait, no, they have a Yimar Mosquera.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Arsenal's Mosquera.
No, I know Arsenal has one too, but yeah, let me go to the most recent game. Who is their starting center back duo? It's Konsa and Lindelof.
Yeah, that's what I said, but he just doesn't bring that stability as well. But I know they've been rotating because I haven't seen them every match. Or maybe I'm tweaking. No, it's been Lindelof.
Buendia, Matson. Again, Matson. After he had that incredible campaign with Dortmund, he just went to Aston Villa and has been like quietly working in the shadows and having great games. Um, before you know it, someone's gonna snatch him.
Well, it's funny because they've had great fullbacks, Chelsea in abundance. They Maatsen they gave away because for the money, and then they also sold Lewis Hall to Newcastle, who is also a great left back, and then also Tino Livramento they also sold him to Newcastle, and he's possibly the best right back in the league.
Yeah, and Chelsea just for some reason just wants to keep buying wingers, not keeping their fullbacks. But yeah, exciting match for that's coming up. Um, Interesting enough, Man City, another great team. We both are in love with Cherki, and he just keeps producing. Pep keeps talking about him. Um, and yeah, you just see him flourish in that team.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about him for years now. We've been saying why hasn't anyone scooped him up, and even at the low price, because I think you sent it to me or I saw it about how Leon even had a cut price deal to sell him to PSG for like 15 mil.
Mhm.
and that's insane already. Because even Man City got a bargain deal with what they paid for him this summer, which was only like what 30, 40 million, which is insane considering what the price tags for what other players were going for. Like Florian Wirtz, 150 mil. That's what Cherki should be worth as well.
Yeah, and Wirtz is now adapting to it, especially now that he's back in his normal position. But Cherki, like right away, even Pep took it like with kind of like not putting pressure on him, slowly putting him in the squad, but now he looks like a set starter. And yeah, he's like 10 times the player Wirtz is at the moment.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's completely what the opposite of what Pep Guardiola is. Because Pep is, he likes to give little details and like control the overall flow of the game, but Cherki doesn't like he goes the opposite of that because I think he even said during the assist or the goal this past weekend, he said he was talking in an interview. He's like, "Yeah, Pep gave me instructions, but I didn't listen to him because he wanted me to go out wide, but I just felt instinctively that I need to go towards the middle, and that's how I got my assist. So, I don't listen to him sometimes,
Yeah, and sometimes that's a make or break, but like if he's proving himself that he's right, Pep can't argue with him. He can't be mad at him. So it's kind of crazy the things he's doing. And yeah, dude, I just can't wait to see more. Like Man
yeah,
City, this is the team you wanted. This is the spark you wanted because they were kind of becoming robotic and just, passing it around, going to the wing and then try to find Holland.
well, it's because the old Man City that when initially Pep Guardiola got there, it was filled with so much creativity and so many attacking players that could fill that role, like a young Bernardo Silva, a Kevin De Bruyne, a David Silva that was still there. Like they had so many creative outlets, and sort of with all of them, like getting older and like a new era coming, there hasn't been anyone to fill that space. Phil Foden was supposed to be that, but we both know he's not that. And Cherki has been that driving force now. Like other players will kick in from time to time, but he's becoming that main driving force.
Yeah, definitely. And again, they're right behind on Arsenal's rear end. We'll see if they could take over. I hope Man City wins the league again this year. I wouldn't be mad if Aston Villa actually wins it, but again, it's a very long way ahead. We're barely at the midpoint.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of Arsenal fans were saying that it was an overpriced deal for Cherki, and they were like talking bad about
Never,
his deal and the player, and it's just like that's how you just know they don't know ball, and
never,
they just focus on Premier League and don't understand what's actually happening outside there,
never, never. Again, no one was touching Cherki with the 10-foot pole, which was
especially on that
insane.
Arsenal team.
Yeah. So cool to see. We're glad we were right. We're right at prospecting. I'm trying to get Jesse into collecting cards so he can start getting his own prospects.
Well, I know prospects, I don't want to do cards.
But yeah, in other news, we mentioned a little bit. Wirtz is doing a little bit better at Liverpool. Liverpool's winning. I think this is their third win in a row.
Uh, let's check.
I'm checking at the moment. Foot Mob is the best. Tell you that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because coming after Leeds draw, they've had a win against Brighton 2-0, and then a 2-1 against Spurs, and then another 2-1 with Wolves.
So yeah, they could keep stacking wins. They were like in 10th place, came back down to fourth. And then I don't know if they'll make a title push, but they could definitely become a disturbance to the other teams. And again, this is just building up confidence for Liverpool because they have a match against Leeds. Not easy, but it's doable.
Yeah, it was the same match that, where all the drama came from, because, it was 3-3. Salah came out and did that interview from, and because, it's a reverse schedule right now. So they're playing them pretty quickly again. Uh, but I feel like this is a different team coming into it. Like we've mentioned before, AFCON's going on, so they don't have to worry about Mo Salah.
Mhm.
Isak is injured. Players are playing in the preferred positions now. They don't have to play like in positions they're not used to just to make name for the name of the players. So they look better free flowing. Like Ward finally got his goal. I think Keita's still in fine form. Szoboszlai's still there. Like it's finally starting to click what Arne Slot's vision was when he got these players before, other outside noise came in.
Do you think Salah's seeding that Liverpool's winning without him? Because if they win again against Leeds, you gotta know that maybe Carragher was right. We agree that he's right because Again, everything's in the results. They're winning without him. And this is the thing we kind of brought up that what happens when they go on a win streak without him when he's in AFCON?
Hmm.
Does he make it back into the 11 right away? And our answer is no, but we'll see what happens in a couple weeks.
I think it all depends on January 8th
Yeah.
because they have Leeds, Fulham, and then Arsenal. Because that will be a big game. Because realistically, if they get that win against Arsenal, it changes the whole dynamic. It proves that he's right. It's beating the team that everyone had as their top team in the league, and also some had crazily top team in Europe and the world. And yeah, it'll change the whole dynamic because they're like, oh, maybe this was what needs to happen. And also it could potentially give them a chance to, push for the title, even though it's so unrealistic considering there's like 10 points behind still. But it'll give them a chance and have that belief in there that maybe they could use this to build something for next year when, hopefully they show up more of the troubles. But I just think all of this leads to a breakup between Liverpool and Salah because it clearly shows that Salah thinks he's bigger than the club and everything else because he's and the moment when the team is in dire straits, he comes out and gives a, a press conference about, oh, the club has done this and adds more onto the pile instead of helping it out.
Yeah, dude. Eventually, people are gonna start hating it. People are gonna start realizing it, especially if he starts becoming more vocal when they're winning, saying he wants to be in the team, trying to force his way in. A lot of things. Who says that football doesn't have drama? Clearly, there is. Because yeah, I'm just gonna keep following this story closely. Jamie Carragher has started kind of like go back. I wouldn't say he's going back, but he's like not responding anymore to the things. Um, and I think he won't until I don't know. I don't even know if he'll respond because he'll end up being right if again the win streak continues. But again, we gotta wait 3 more games and see what happens with that. When does Salah come back from the AFCON?
Well, it depends how long they
Say they make it to the final.
let me quickly check.
Because I would probably say like end of January, mid-January. Who knows? Again, it's weird having AFCON at the moment when there's a World Cup coming up.
Uh, Last game, if he makes it to the final, will be January 18th.
Okay. And I'm assuming he might go on. They might give him like a week break, so we won't see him probably until end of January.
Yeah, AFCON moves really quickly if you think about it.
Oh yeah, that
Because
it does.
if it's what, 4 weeks maybe? Because it started this week basically, this past
Mhm.
week, and then this week, that's really quick.
Yeah, it's a quick.
Similar, it's similar to the old World Cup before they added 48 teams now, where it's going to take like a month and a half.
Hey, the things they do for money, dude. But yeah, again, Liverpool. We'll see what they're going. They're doing good things right now. Did we ever give an update on the Isak situation?
I think we just mentioned that he had a broken fibula and that he's gonna be out.
Yeah, and that's kind of confirmed, right? So I'm assuming he's like trying to ramp up his recovery for the World Cup, and that's what
Mhm.
again me assuming. I haven't looked at anything.
Yeah, I think it was just like he should be back by the end of the season, but he is for sure making the World Cup.
And going to our favorite team, Manchester United somehow fights it out against Newcastle and comes up with the win. Newcastle has a lot of things to talk about because they are not consistent. Uh, Man U, again, they are a shell of their former selves, and they're actually getting results, getting more wins, and being a little bit more consistent, you know?
Yeah, I feel like with this Newcastle team, you look at the names and they should be doing well,
Hmm.
but you just can never trust them to on a consistent run.
You can't. You can't, dude. That's what kind of what Man U was last year, I think. Maybe Tottenham, but I don't know. It's
Because
a
you look
weird
at
dynamic.
because you look at the team, you have Gordon on left wing, like a high priced left winger for Englishmen that everyone wants, every Premier League club wants, who should produced decently. Woltemade has been really good. Tonali, great midfielder. Bruno
Yeah, because
Guimaraes.
their team really didn't change other than well, the major one was the striker. But everything else seems a little kind of consistent to what it was last year. So it's weird.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Because you look at the team, a lot of other big teams would love players that are on the squad and take them away. Like so many players are linked away. Tonali is linked away with a bigger move. Guimaraes, bigger move. Tino Livramento, bigger move. Like there's so many good players on this team, and yet they can't produce any results. And especially against this Man U team, who have been battered by the media and like everyone else, rightly so, and yet they still can't produce a result.
Yeah, and again they're kind of going into another injury crisis. They have Elanga out, Daniel Byrne, Kraft,
But
Kieran Trippier, Botman, but even then, like you gotta start getting results. Everything else is kind of like the same. Like you
but
would
even
expect them
those
to score
guys
like a
are
similar amount of goals.
yeah, but even those guys are not like full on starters when they're healthy. Like they're rotational players. So it doesn't make sense because even Diaw from the center back, he came from AC Milan. He's been a re revelation through this beginning of the year, and he's been great. So like Botman or like Barnes or like whatever, they wouldn't even make sure. Like even Harvey Barnes was like on a goal scoring streak a couple of games ago. So like this Newcastle team's an enigma, really.
Yeah, we got to see what's going on with them. Literally, they're not going to compete for Champions League spots or even the title. I wish they'll be competing for the title. They think it's just maybe Europa, maybe conference, but clearly they're not the team to even be mentioned. And if they are, I'll be very surprised if they make it top 10. I think they're going to go below top 10.
And it's crazy because everyone was expecting them to by this time ago because it's been what like 4 years since
The
the Saudi
acquisition.
yeah acquisition of the Saudis, and they you would have expected them to be in a completely different position by now. Yeah, because they're 14th right now.
What do you think of Benjamin Sesko at the moment?
I know he's getting a lot of flack, but I feel like he's doing the little things right and he's helping the team out. It's just that the goal hasn't fallen for him. And the thing with Man U is like you don't hit the ground running, you immediately are a flop. So I feel like his confidence has taken a dip, and especially as a young player, it's hard when everyone's up against you. And then it's even worse when uh you're being compared to with like Walton Mod, who has hit the ground running, and everyone's like, oh well, maybe they should have signed him instead, because he rejected Newcastle to go to Man U. Because I know Newcastle also wanted to get him, especially with Isak leaving. But
Hmm.
Sesko said, no, I'd rather go with Man U. And relatively, I think it makes sense because, he would have had Mbeumo, Cunha around him, Bruno Fernandes to give him, support.
Especially with the
And
table at the moment, he's not regretting his decision. Especially at the again, we just have to talk about how bad Newcastle is. He would have been in that spot.
yeah, and Man U's at 6. So it's like they're doing better than a lot of people think.
And what I do like about Amorim, he's not throwing him right away into the league. Again, it's a new league. There's some players that do have to get used to it. Looks like he's one of them. Like Wirtz was one of them. Cherky clearly one of them. Um, Eventually he'll start getting his time. I know right now he's getting more playing time because there's some players off in AFCON, so
Mhm.
he's gonna make the most of it.
Well, this is the thing. I see that a lot of people just, because a lot of people just care about GA. They look at the numbers and like, oh, well, he didn't have an assist or a goal. But if you look at the games, he's actually providing a lot for Man U. He's making those runs. He's doing the little things for the team, and he's actually producing, like, giving good games. It's just that he hasn't gotten the goal yet, and that's
Hmm.
the thing. But because he doesn't get the goal, people can't forgive it.
Yeah, I think probably coming up, I think he'll start having a goal streak. Because again, like you said, he's doing the little things right. Eventually you're gonna start getting rewarded for that. You're gonna start scoring goals, and then boom, you're just taking off. So it's only a matter of time, Jesse.
Yeah.
And remember, if you don't shoot, you don't score. So
And what sucks for Amorim is I feel like the negativity towards Man U is like making the bringing the team down because they're like we said, everyone's saying like this was the worst team ever, like relatively good results, six, and they're like I think tied with Chelsea, but
mhm.
because of a lot of people not liking Amorim Sow and what like he brings, like think about it, he's only 3 points off fourth from Liverpool with at 32 because Man U is at 29. But because they don't like Amorim Sow because the formation he uses, the way he has the team playing, and not the results that Man U deserves or whatever that is. And also the whole situation with Kobe Minu. It's just like, oh, he's not a good coach, fire him. When this is like the best spot they've been in a couple years.
And I would say this, Man U is one of the teams with the higher XG tables. Um, their expected goals are 33.4, and they actually scored less than that. So it is pretty crazy. I don't know. It's an
Yeah,
interesting thing.
I feel like Man U fans deserve this because they're turning on Almiron saying that the coach shouldn't have this type of power and control over like players and things like that. But when Ten Hag subbed Ronaldo because he didn't agree with he wouldn't pressure the way he wanted to, they all lauded it. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is exactly the type of coach we need at Man U," and now they're just doing the complete opposite for Amarin.
Double standard, Jesse. Double standard. But I don't know. I'm liking the things he's doing. He's clearly building on the things he did last year, which is always an improvement, you know?
Hmm.
Obviously, you would have probably sacked him if he was doing more of the same last year, not getting results, but he clearly is. You got to stick with him. He's your coach. Sure, it's still rocky, but again, it's not his, I want to say his full squad, but he has players that came in. He has like, I think, what was it, four new players this season?
Yeah, and the players that he did bring in are playing well, like
Hmm.
Embuemo, Cunha. They're doing great. Like he hasn't had time to, get the defense in yet. He didn't buy that like defenders.
He's still trying to get rid of Ugarte.
Yeah,
So
he's still trying to bring in like his team yet because the players that he has gotten, they've all worked out. Like even he got him this summer from Arsenal. He's been starting at center back and he's been very solid. Cunha and Buemu, Sesko is still a work in progress, but there's positive signs. The goalie, because Onana was not great, he's been solid as well.
and especially that goalie was questioned because everything was pointing that Dibu was going to come to Manchester United. But they
Yeah,
made this signing of this French goalkeeper that no one's ever heard of, and it's a pretty good signing. So
yeah,
again, you got to give him props.
yeah. It's not like you can make remake the team in your vision in one transfer window or in two. And especially with like how the financial situation is at Man U, it's not the same.
It's not at all. But that pretty much wraps up the Premier League. Unless you want to talk about Chelsea, but what
Yeah,
else are we gonna say about them?
yeah. I think it's because it's such a young squad that they're so inconsistent. They need a veteran presence because they all take turns to, take time off, and there's no one consistently there to like lead them.
Yeah, definitely. They are one of the most younger teams in Europe. We'll see what happens with them if they make a huge signing in the January transfer window, but who knows?
Maybe another left winger.
Maybe a right one, dude. I think they're kind of packed on the left.
Nah.
But we did have a couple Serie A matches. I did see the Inter Milan one versus Atalanta. I think Inter Milan has a huge win streak on Atalanta. I forgot what the preview notes were. I forgot what the win streak was, but yeah, Atalanta just struggles to beat Inter in the league. But again, Atalanta had a bunch of players, like their main star player, Lookman, go off to AFCON, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, and plus Atalanta's not in the greatest shape. They're like 10th in the table. They haven't been the same with Gasperini leaving, and showed that he's it's made a big difference in the squad because Atalanta's gone down, and meanwhile he went to Roma, and Roma's up there in the top four, looking completely different from a year
Yeah.
ago.
So right now it's Inter Milan first place, Milan, Napoli, Roma, Juventus, Como, and the European positions at the moment. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Como, my boy again.
Again, Como just I think the best thing for Como at the moment, sure they probably want to be in Champions League spots and get that huge influx of cash. I think but the best thing for them right now is to probably get Conference League. I don't think Europa League is a good move either. Conference League I
Well,
think would be good for them.
yeah, because I think they still need to build up because
Hmm.
realistically, this isn't going to be the same squad a year from now.
No, it's not.
Because Nico Pasas can come back to Madrid, and then who knows what other players might get poached away from a bigger club, and how many you can convince to stay.
So yeah, I think they should definitely avoid your Champions League spots just for the sake of that. Because again, once you build up so much like demand or something, you grow too fast, it could like be detrimental to you. And like again, you're just gonna have to start the project all over again when you already
Yeah,
have good momentum. But
and
yeah,
then also Napoli, they won, and it was I think from a double from Højlund, who again is proving that once you leave Man U, you instantly improve.
then again, it's also a league he is used to because this is a Bologna side he played at. But then again, he didn't score too many goals with Bologna when he was there, right?
No, I think he didn't even hit double digits when he was there. And now here he has, I think, what, 14?
He has six, I believe.
But throughout the year, the campaign.
The campaign. I wish they would tell me that. I'm literally just looking at it right now.
Napoli loan. Uh,
He has
he's
two
got,
Champions League goals,
I think he has 9. My bad.
two Champions League goals, two Serie A, and six Serie A goals. So he has eight that I
Yeah,
know of.
and Atalanta, he had 10 in total.
Oh, there you go, Atalanta. Why was I thinking below that? I'm thinking of Xerxes. What is it, Xerxes?
Yeah,
Who's kind of in like in the shadow realm of everything at the moment. But yeah, Hoyland just building up. He clearly has. He's comfortable in that team, and of course, he's just playing his natural position.
yeah, he's just, but like I said, you leave Man U and it works out. Just look at Scott McTominay,
Who's rumored to go back to Man U. I don't think he does, but they're gonna have to pay what was it, 60 million that we saw in the article?
60 to 80. And it's funny because they sold him for like 30.
That's business for you, Jesse. You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. That's so funny. That'll be hilarious if he does. I don't think Scott McTominay goes back though. I think he's gonna
It's
stay at Napoli or try to make another move to a different club.
It's similarly to like the Anthony move. You know, they paid what was it, 100 mil, and they sold him to Betis for 20.
Hmm.
Good business, good business.
Business dude. But I no, I would what was it? I would compare this to Pogba. Of course, two different profiles of players. But like same thing, like Pogba when he went to back to Man U, it wasn't the best decision. At most, he won what was it, the a couple cups, the most notably the Europa League.
Hmm.
Again, that's not. I don't think it'll be the best move for McTominay.
Yeah, I just maybe because he'll fit the profile better. But that was like old Scott McTominay. Like
Yeah,
current Scott McTominay is an offensive force.
yeah,
Like the coach that in the Man U's youth academy that made him a CDM ruined a legendary career.
yeah. He definitely did because he was scoring a couple of goals for Man U. Because I
Because
remember I was
always
saying like he was like their best striker.
Yeah, dude. And it was always at the last minute. He was always clutch for them and always making that goal. Because you always be like, why is Scott McTominay starting? And then at the end, he just scores a goal and you're just like, yeah, but
He's supposed to be a CDM. He's not playing that, but clearly he's not. He's more of an attacking midfielder.
yeah, but even as a CDM, he was not the greatest. Don't get me wrong, his work rate, he was willing to run and die for the team. but he just didn't work there. But it just seems that he was meant to be up at the field.
Yeah, but glad to see him succeed. Um, you saw your boy Christian Pulisic denied the rumors.
Oh, with Sydney Sweeney, I'm surprised. I thought that was it was a thing.
Yeah, because I think I was talking to my brother about him. Like, did you see that apparently he's dating her? He's like, yeah, dude, that's crazy. And I asked him, like, I thought he was dating someone else because I remember seeing scrolling through TikTok and he came out on my For You page and it was him and his girlfriend doing a TikTok.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I think it was just like people trying to bring up hype for like the World Cup in the U.S. with like Sydney Sweeney because I think she's also dating someone else as well.
My brother said it's like he's sports washing, dude. He's trying to, she's trying to rearrange her image and like clean it based on her all her previous allegations about like being a right winger. That Christian Pulisic was the one because again, World Cup, they like
Yeah,
again bringing up your name and promoting a movie on top of that. But
yeah.
glad he shut those down right away as soon as he scored. So all we have left is transfer news, and the biggest one going on in the Premier League. Everyone wants Semenyo from Bournemouth. Man City's in the race. I think Barcelona was in the race at one point. Who else was in the race? Pretty much everyone.
Yeah, I think so. Everyone except Arsenal. And it's funny because Arsenal are not in the race, but he would fix that left wing spot that they've had trouble so long for. But yeah, they're not in it. And it was funny because he said if Arsenal were in it, I grew up an Arsenal fan, they would have been my preferred spot, but they're not in it, so he's not going there.
Man, it's because I think they have to stick with Gyökeres. They probably send him back, and they don't want to bet on someone else. But I think right now the most reasonable spot is Man City. I think they're ahead of everyone.
Yeah, I think
But
that's what
you
he said.
did mention that they have to sell someone.
Yeah, there's been if they do, I think they're gonna get squad players will feel like they need to get out. I know they two players that have been linked with a move away would be Sabinho, who has multiple links away. Especially one strong link with Spurs, and then the other one is Oscar Bob, which as I've mentioned off screen, I think it would feel like another Cole Palmer situation potentially because he is such a good player. We both felt that last year would have been his breakout year if he unfortunately didn't get that injury with his like broken leg that derailed it. He's just a supremely talented player. He's really good. I feel like if he makes that move away, I think he potentially explodes. And especially because he's gonna be with Norway at the World Cup, he could be one of those World Cup stars.
Yeah, I wish Barca had the funds or had funds in general, so they could try to get Oscar Bob because I think he's a great player. Again, his what was I think it was an ACL injury, kind of stunted his growth from last season or whatever the broken leg, the leg injury in
Mhm.
general. And then it sucks right now because for him to try to compete, you have to play against and compete against a Jeremy Doku who is having a fantastic season at the moment. So
And then on the other wing you have Cherki, so it's like
yeah.
it's tough.
It's a very competitive spot, and I hope he does stay because like we know Pep, he's gonna rotate eventually. He doesn't fall in love with players unless your name is Messi. So he's gonna rotate someone eventually. He's done it with Mahrez. He's done it with everyone. So I think Bob should wait. Savinho too. It's weird because Savinho was so good at the beginning of the season, but Cherki just beat him out to that spot. I thought, and I seen rumors of Marmoush potentially leaving. And I
Yeah.
think that would be like a more reasonable one, just because it's kind of an attacker for an attacker. I wouldn't say striker because Semenya is more of a striker, Marmoush is more of a 10. So I think that one would make a little bit more sense. But even then, where does it go? Who gets him?
But I feel like that would be a mistake because I feel like Marmoush fits more of that Julian Alvarez role, especially like when they had that trouble winning season. Like he can play striker, he play anyone in the front three, or sometimes he could just play with Erling Haaland and provide that support for him that he needs sometimes in that low block. Just get that man off of him. Semenyo, I feel like he's a striker, but he's also like a left winger. I feel like it's a different style approach,
Mhm.
and I think it'd be a mistake to send him away.
Yeah, let us know where you guys. Oh my God, let me know what you guys think. Who's gonna go and get Semenyo, and who should leave for Man City? I think probably the biggest one. I think, in my opinion, the biggest loss would be Oscar Bob.
Hmm.
Savinho, I think you're kind of fine, especially with Cherki. Then you have Phil Foden as a backup. Marmoush, I think it's to me again, it makes the most sense. But to you, you seem like it'll be a big mistake.
I feel like the one that makes most sense to me would be probably Savinho, because he just seems like he won't acclimate well with, especially with Pep, because he seems like an hot or cold type of player, and Pep doesn't like that. He needs consistency from you, and especially if he loses trust on you, he could freeze you out for the whole year.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that happen.
Yeah.
And then in Barcelona news, we are linked to a couple center backs. Right now, the names floating around is Nico Schlotterbeck, and Real Madrid is also entering the race to compete with us. I hope we have the advantage because we have his ex-German coach Hansi Flick. But it's definitely going to be a huge competition for him. I think he's on a free transfer this upcoming summer, correct?
I don't know if it was this one or the next one. I know his contract is expiring. It might be this one.
So we'll see who gets him. I know Barcelona desperately needs a left-footed center back. I feel like Real Madrid should join in the race so to like play spoiler against Barcelona.
Well, we're also looking at a bunch of center backs as well. Uh, Unfortunately, not the ones that I want. I have been wanting this one for a while, Antonio Silva. I don't know why no one gets him. He's so young. He's such a great center back. But yeah, we've been looking at him and then Ousmane Diamante from Sporting. But the one that has really caught the eye of Juni Khalifat, who is our chief scout and uh, like also negotiator. He's like he helps for transfer. Like he went for Franco Macedono, a bunch of other ones. If he falls in love with the player, usually Real Madrid gets him because he like has a really eye for talent. Is Jeremy Jacquet. He's a French center back. I think he plays for Rennes. He fell in love with him in the under Euro 19 like a year ago, and he's been following his progress this year, and he's been really well. So that's the one that he really wants to get in the summer.
Yeah, because in my opinion, it doesn't make sense for Real Madrid to get Schlotterbeck because you guys already have Huijsen. So two left-footed center backs, but I definitely do hope Real Madrid doesn't get a center back, Jesse. I hope you guys stick with the same players.
Well, the thought is to get one, and then they're also thinking of bringing back Jacobo Ramon from Como because he's shown good progress there. Because the thought is that this summer we're gonna both contracts expire for Rudiger and Alaba, and it's shedding a lot of salary. A lot of the board members said that they don't want to do the same mistake they did with Alaba, bring him in for a big contract, a veteran like center back, and then just have him completely deteriorate for like 3 years where they just haven't been able to stay on the field, and while they're paying them high wages.
Yeah, it's too many dead weight and dead salaries for them. I think it's the right time to move. God damn it. I just looked up Ronald Araujo's transfer value.
It went down again.
Yeah, yeah. Always something, dude. He has a bad match and everything goes downhill. But yeah, it looks like he's done with Barcelona. Crazy theory I saw on TikTok or not theory, but like potential move is Bastoni to Barcelona and a potential swap deal of Ronald Araujo for Bastoni. I think it makes sense. We get a left-footed center back, and they get a
Uh,
center back with their profile of like, what is it? Just straight up. He's three in the back. He's not the last man.
what about the gulf in value between Bastoni and Araujo?
What do you mean? Araujo is like a $80 million center back.
Where? In what world?
When he has a good World Cup, Jesse. Because he is a centerpiece for that World Cup squad. So I don't know, but I think he's gonna get sold in January. Let me dream, Jesse. Let me dream.
Yeah, but they'll be then you'll be out two center backs. Who you can bring in to replace him
That's why Bastoni.
this January?
Theory. This is a reach, Jesse. This is a reach. So I don't know. We'll see, dude. I can't complain if it
Yeah,
does happen, but more than likely it's not gonna happen. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
it doesn't seem likely. But in other rumors, Yildiz has been is look is looking like he'll be available this summer with his contract demands not being met at Juventus. They're saying that it's too high for them, and which is crazy because he's basically the entire team for them, creative force, driving force. So he looks like to be available. He should come and join his fellow Turkey brother Arda Güler at Real Madrid, and then he's also best friends with Hoyt Hausen, so it makes sense for him to come to Real Madrid.
Yeah, let's not make that happen. You know, let's keep Real Madrid as is. Hopefully Vinicius Jr. stays because there is rumors that he's potentially leaving in the summer to fund the move of Vitinha.
Yeah, it'll make perfect sense. We get Vitinha fill in that midfield role, and then we need a left middle. Yildiz. There you go. Perfect. See, this makes perfect sense.
If Barca can't get Marcus Rashford to stay, and I have a feeling that they're not going to buy him because there's players like Yildiz, like you just mentioned, out in the market, and he plays that left wing position. He's young too. I think that there's a world where they try to get him if there's funds. Again, we have no idea what about Barcelona's funding.
But if you don't have funds for Rashford, how are you gonna have the funds for Yildiz, who will probably be more expensive?
With a sheer dream, Jesse. With a sheer dream. Who knows? Maybe again, Barcelona's operating in their normal stadium now. They're opening up to 60% capacity now, I think opening up in January, or at least trying to. And then by April, I think they're trying to go to 80%. Again, we'll see. There's plenty of money. And then if Barca makes a deep run in the Champions League to get more funds, I think they'll be helpful.
How about this, Sherry? We'll help you out with your funds problems. Just give us better.
And that's crazy too, because I think the Barcelona at the moment they would probably accept something like say with Lamine Yamal. I'm pretty sure Barcelona did entertain the fact of selling Lamine Yamal last summer because I think PSG was like pushing heavily for him.
Yeah, I think they sent a 200 million offer.
I think if 300 million would have came, I think they would have agreed to it. Would have Lamine agreed to it? I have no idea, but the club would have.
I think he potentially, depending on how much the salary was, I think he would have, as
Yeah.
we've seen from the season.
What do you mean? As we've seen from this season. What do you mean by that?
Let's be honest, Jerry. He's a party boy. He enjoys his free time.
He's 18, dude. What can you say?
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm just saying he enjoys his free time. So he would enjoy his time at Paris.
Who knows? But at the moment, I think I wouldn't say his value decreased. I think he's definitely taken a step. No, I don't know. It's weird. I want to say he's taken a step took a step back, but I think he's on pace to beat his goals scored last season. And same thing with his assist. And this is all with an injury as well. So again, we'll see what happens. Is there any other transfer?
Well, there's another player that we were looking at this summer. I think I sent it to you. It was because this past summer, Real Madrid were looking at we were scouting three young players for potentially to sign them on, but two of them got taken away. We were looking at Wiltemad. I think I sent it to you, but he went to Newcastle and he's worked out great. We were looking at Valencia and Mosquera, and he went to Arsenal and he's looked really good as well. The other one that we were looking at is a CM for from the Netherlands. He's Keith Smith.
What does
He's
he
a
play?
ginger. Which one? It's PSV or Feyenoord. One of those two. I
Mhm.
can't remember which one. I was getting mixed up, but yeah,
It's interesting that Real Madrid keeps going for very, very young players.
yeah, he's a young player, and so they were looking at him, but they his development he wasn't ready yet for the level,
Yeah.
but this year he's like developed rapidly and is looking crazy, and now everyone's starting to look at him because I know you guys have started looking at Barcelona's looking at him, PSG's looking at him, Man City's looking at him,
Is that the
and
guy
Bayern's
that
looking.
that Ronald not Ronald Araujo, Ronald Koeman mentioned that he plays like Pedri?
Yeah, the ginger.
Hmm. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about now.
yeah, Keith Smith. Now, because in the summer we were linked to buy him for 15 to 20 million, and now
Hmm.
it's gone up to like 60 because his development has rapidly increased. So,
Thus, Barca can't buy him.
so
We are
we're
out of
all
that
look,
race.
yeah, we were all looking at him. But yeah, it's funny because those three were looked at in the summer, but they're like deemed to need another season of like development. and they all got snapped up. And it looks like Keith Smith, depending, I don't know how if we get him.
Um, there is news about Jack Grealish, Jesse. He might go back to City earlier than expected because Everton is planning to get Sevilla winger Ruben Vargas.
No, no,
Um,
not early as expected. They just won't keep him after his loan deal.
Wait, so this is what it says after recent links. The Toffees will look to send back to following the conclusion of his loan. Oh, okay, following the conclusion of his
Yeah.
loan. So it's sucks for Grealish, but if anything, he's just raising his value. Maybe he goes to a team like Aston Villa and goes back.
I don't know if it's raising his value. I think it's just helping justify the price tag that City's putting on him. But then it also doesn't help that his wages are astronomical and don't make sense for anyone outside of Man City.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with him, clearly. And it's pretty interesting that Villa's trying to kind of like announcing that hey, like, yeah, we're not gonna buy you, bro.
Everton.
Everton, yeah, this early on, especially getting the replacement already. Because I think, I don't know, with Jack Cruz playing so well at Everton, it's pretty surprising.
Well, it's just because first of all, they would have to pay 50 million for him at the end of his loan, and then they would still have to agree to his wages, and his wages are stupid
The
because he
English
was one of
tax,
the
dude.
highest. Oh, he was one of the highest earners at Man City.
It's the English tax, dude. Yeah, we'll see if they can keep it up. I'll be interested to see what team gets him. Man U, maybe? But who knows?
Well, he's no longer young. I think he's
No, he's
what,
not.
30.
He's about to
So
be
it's
30. But again, it's the English tax, dude. Someone's gonna pay it, especially how well he's playing. So it's gonna be hard to be like, yeah, knock it down a bit, or even half of it. I think they'll be lucky if they get 20% reduction in his wages.
gonna be me.
Because yeah, good player, but it's kind of crazy. And then Konate, Real Madrid have renounced his in their interest in him. I think they kind of got priced out. They're working out a deal with Liverpool at the moment. I think no one wants him.
We weren't priced out. We just didn't want him from his form because his form has been bad this year.
Well,
So
yeah,
that
what I meant by priced out is like maybe he was asking for too much, and clearly his form is showing that he's not worth that much.
well, that's what he's being priced out of at Liverpool because what he's asked because reports came out he went back to negotiate with Liverpool and that he wanted to be paid similarly to like Van Dijk, Mo
Mm.
Salah, and they're just like, uh, have you seen yourself?
Hey man, there's other players that people could get. I think who was it that Barcelona's interested in? I will
Uh, Araujo from Benfica.
Araujo from Benfica, the center back, and then Real Madrid's interested in Diamonde from Sporting, the center back, but no one's interested in Antonio Silva, which I'm very surprised. But
Please don't let him go to Liverpool.
and if teams are looking into Konate, maybe put your funds into him. He's 22. He's pretty good. I think 22 or 23. He recently turned to 23, but again, fantastic center back. No one's getting him. I don't know what's going on. He must have like something wrong with his health, but I doubt it because he's playing every game with Benfica as their
He's tw
captain.
he's 22. My team should just sign him. I've been saying this for 4 years.
You guys do
Can
need a
we
right-footed center back too.
can we just sign him, please?
No, please, no.
Please.
For any other transfers that you have in mind?
I can't think of any.
I think I'm all done too. Again, once we get into January, more things are going to start circulating. Most active league is going to be Premier League, so we'll see what happens with them and who buys who goes where. But a lot of things to talk about. Chicago Bears, King of the North. Everyone was doubting us. We got it. I was doubting us because it's too good to be true, Jesse. But they played the 49ers last night, and they played probably the best offense I've ever seen in a long time.
It was a game of the season.
Definitely was. It was a shootout. Went down to the last drive, and at the what is it, the red zone too? So I can't be mad, dude. If anything, we need this humbling to like knock us down a bit, just so we don't get overconfidence.
I think it's gonna help the defense lock in even more.
Yeah,
Because I think they could be like, we didn't stop them enough. We let them score 40, what was it, 42 points?
42. It was too much. So many points. Our defense is known for takeaways, and we got one. We got a pick six in like the very beginning of the game, but after that, it was like non-existent. So I think if they
Yeah,
would have forced another would a turnover, which they did, by the way, CJ Gardner Johnson, he got that interception in the end zone, but they took it away for a what is it, hands to the face, which I think was questionable.
yeah, bullshit.
It definitely was. But hey, that's the name of the game. We have a lot to look forward to.
Hey, listen, I just want to talk to one person only. Max Crosby. How do you want to be a Bear? Because we could work something out, you know. You, me, the Raiders. Let me get in contact out. We could work something out. You'll look great in blue and orange. I'm telling you, you come to the city, you'll feel the love. We'll get a championship. You want to be a winner, don't you? Come to the Bears.
Exactly. And lower your price tag, you know?
What's
Maybe
that?
maybe
Not
get a
him.
second rounder.
Your Raiders, we'll give you a second round in and we'll send some Portillos.
All right, guys. Thank you much. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Jesse and Jerry, episode 93. Peace.
Peace.